So how can people in the fencing community who are not black help help get rid of this kind of culture of implicit racism?
Call people out.
Call
Call
people
people
out.
out.
Just go ahead.
100%. If you see your friends saying something, and like back to the thing where you go, oh, it's a joke, it's a joke. You're like, no, it wasn't a joke. You totally meant that. You know what I'm saying? You
Just
totally
really
meant that, but then because of the reaction, you say it's a joke, right? Call your friends out and things like that, because there are going to be a lot of spaces where people won't say like those types of statements in front of people of color, in front of black people, things like that. But when they're with their friends, when they're in their comfort zone, things like that, that's when they're going to say things like that. So, just go ahead and call out your friends.
So another thing,
Also,
I think it's really important that it's very difficult for some people to call out their friends. Like it's a hard thing to do. So if I think even if you
yeah,
just say like if the person is like it was just a joke, you could just tell them that was not an appropriate joke to make, or I don't think that that was funny. You don't have to explicitly
Exactly.
call
yeah,
them a racist to like get that
yeah,
behavior to stop. In my opinion.
yeah. Just bring light to that's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
definitely.
I
Call
would
them
say
out and
that.
educate them is most important, right? If you're gonna call somebody out, call them out, like especially your friends, because if they are your real friends, they will listen to you, right? If you
and they will
feel a
change.
certain
Yeah,
way about something, even if they don't completely understand it because that's just not the experiences that they've had, they will at least put in an effort to understand why you feel a certain way about a certain issue. So it comes with, if you feel really uncomfortable about something, tell your friends, hey, I don't like that you said that. That didn't make me feel good. And here's why. And then, take the time to listen to them also. They might say, oh, okay, I apologize. I didn't understand that you felt this way in the past. Maybe I talked to other people like that and it was fine with them. But I understand now that the experiences that you've had will reflect on how you may perceive what I say and what I do. And therefore, you can make a more conscious effort to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah,
Another thing also with holding people accountable, I think this is a systematic issue for, in my point of view, more than an individual person issue. I'm not saying that
Totally.
individual people aren't important, but it's really a system. Hold organizations accountable as well. Help us advocate so organizations don't see it's, oh, just black people have a problem with this. Let
hmm
organizations see, no, a majority of our members have a problem with this. Don't just resort to holding individual people accountable. Hold systems and organizations and groups accountable.
That doesn't. Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people. It's not only friends, right? Like it's everybody needs to be held accountable, from strangers to family members.
To
If
teach,
teachers, coaches, everybody who can, everyone should be held accountable. Accountability is key. And if when you start holding people accountable for the things they say, the things they do,
hmm
then things get a lot better. I think, because it
yeah.
gets
So
the
like,
conversation more.
yeah.
Because a
So
lot of
like,
people don't want to have this conversation because it makes them uncomfortable.
exactly. Yeah. So for me, it's like I know a lot of like my European friends and things like that. Like when I travel internationally, they really do not understand like the effect of the things that they say sometimes, because they don't like see it every day like we do in America and things like that. So it's been cool for me to tell people, be like, hey, like this is not okay anywhere in the world, even if you're like outside of like the main sphere of where it's happening, and just going ahead and just educating people about it, because like people, like I know Andrew said this before, and this is 100% true. This is a learned behavior. So to be able you to unteach it, you just have to be empathetic and take the time to talk to people about it. It really only becomes a problem when people do not want to get help.
Yep.
That when if you don't want to get help about it, then I'm sorry, I can't help you out. If you're not willing to recognize the problem and say, hey, I can't do this by myself, I can't fix it by myself, I'm gonna need you to help me. I'm 100% okay to do that. But if you're not willing to take the time to go ahead and unlearn the things that you've learned, then at that point, it's up to you, honestly.
Yeah, and even if you don't necessarily want to talk to someone about it, maybe you're shy or something like that, African American people have been writing for generations and years and years and years. Go look at written resources, go read, look at data, and I'm sure it
Mm-hmm.
will change your point of view and opinions just through that.
Totally.